Hey, this is William here with Common Motor. We're back with our long haul project about to tear into the rear end of the bike, so stay tuned. Alright, so like I said, I'm William with Common Motor. We're here with our long haul CB450 project. We've gone ahead and gone through the engine, carburetor, electrical system, so now it's time to move on to the suspension, brakes, tires, all the other stuff on the bike. And we're going to start with the rear end, so let's tear into it. Alright, so here we are. We've got the entire rear end of the bike taken apart for the most part. We removed the chain and the front sprocket, and that allowed us to get the rear wheel off of the bike altogether. We then took the shock absorbers off, so our swing arm is just swinging here. I'm going to go ahead and lube that up with this grease fitting before we put everything back together. Alright, so now that we have the rear wheel on the bench, there's a number of things to address, and I've got it taken apart pretty much as far down as we're going to go with it. The first thing I did was to remove the old tire. It was crusty, it was rusty, and it's going to come off. I brushed up some of the rust inside the rim, and we're going to put some fresh rim strips, tubes, and tire on there. Second off, we're going to go ahead and replace both of the drive sprockets, as well as the drive chain, which wear unevenly, so they're both going to get swapped out. In doing so, make sure you save the studs that the rear sprocket mounts to. They're hard to find. A lot of people lose them, so make sure to hang on to them. Last but not least is the rear drum. We're going to go ahead and swap out for some fresh shoes and springs. Make sure we've got all the stopping power we need. We have a separate video on how to rebuild the rear drum brake on the 450, so if you're going through this process, make sure to watch that video as well. Alright, let's get it put back together. Alright, so we've got the rear wheel put back together, got a fresh tire, rebuilt the rear drum brake, and got a fresh sprocket down here. I'm going to put a new set of shocks on the bike and put this rear wheel back on there. Okay, so as you can see, we've got the rear end of the bike put back together. The last thing to really do was fit a new front sprocket. Went ahead and went up one tooth size to a 16 to give us a little bit better cruising speed, as well as a fresh drive chain adjusted and good to go. Next is to put the chain cover back on the side of the engine, get the foot pegs all snugged back down, and fit the exhaust on the bike, and then moving on to the front end. So be sure to stay tuned with this long haul project with Common Motor. I'm William. Be sure to follow us on Facebook and Instagram, and subscribe to our YouTube channel and newsletter. I'll see you next time.